what could be said about Dragon Ball Z? It's iconic, world-renowned. It's a classic story that's resonated with countless people all around the world. I can easily say that Dragon Ball Z is one of my favorite things of all time. I can't remember a time of my life when I wasn't reading or watching Dragon Ball. I've seen each series numerous times, read each manga, played almost every game, etc., etc. Dragon Ball Z is a fundamental part of my very core, so naturally I was pretty excited for the series' inevitable appearance in J-Stars. Having originally run in Weekly Shonen Jump from 1984 to 1995, Dragon Ball has had quite a lifespan. Not only that, but Dragon Ball is the third highest selling Jump manga in Japan, at approximately 230 million volumes sold for the entire series. See, in Japan, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are more or less considered to be one series. The adventures of Son Goku, from childhood until the end of the Buu saga, were all kind of part of one series, rather than separated into two very distinct ones, like over here. This was mainly done because of the popularity of the Dragon Ball Z anime in North America. And that kind of makes sense, because the Dragon Ball Z anime was, and still is really, huge. Almost any anime fan can name Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, etc., because a lot of us just grew up with the characters. Whether you saw it on YTV here in Canada, or on Toonami in the States, or anywhere really, chances are it really stuck with you. I'm sure many of you, like me, hold Dragon Ball Z at your very core, which is why I'm really excited to do this episode of J-Star's Origins. I've got a ridiculous passion for Dragon Ball Z, so I'd say it's time to get to it. Let's talk about J-Stars and Dragon Ball Z. So, the Dragon Ball Z characters that appear in J-Stars are probably the ones you would expect. Seeing as only 3 characters could appear, these are the ones that I would say make the most sense. Naturally, Goku is playable, alongside the Prince of all Saiyans himself, Vegeta, and probably the most iconic villain in all of Dragon Ball, and one of the most iconic villains of any manga, Frieza. Goku is an energetic young man who has been unusually strong for as long as he could remember. After an entire series of watching Kid Goku, smacking around bad guys and having a grand old time, Goku finds out he's actually a member of an alien race known as the Saiyans. This explains his immense strength, and his ability to learn amazing techniques, such as the iconic Kamehameha, more quickly than most. Vegeta is the polar opposite of Goku. As the son of the Saiyan King, who is very creatively named King Vegeta, young little Prince Vegeta was groomed to be a powerful and ruthless fighter from birth. After the destruction of the Saiyans' home planet, creatively named Vegeta, the young Vegeta, not the king or the planet, becomes one of the few remaining Saiyans, and eventually becomes Goku's greatest rival and friend. Now for Frieza. As the son of the wildly powerful galactic ruler King Cold, Frieza is a force to be reckoned with. With numerous different forms and a sadism streak that rivals that of Patrick Bateman, Frieza is one of the most powerful villains Goku would ever face. At the time, at least. I mean, by the end of the series, Goku would pretty easily decimate regular old Frieza, since in Hey Son Goku and Friends Return, Goku actually says Frieza wasn't that strong and says that Goten and Trunks could take care of him, but, I mean, whatever. Hey, watch the most recent movie, Resurrection of F, to see how a newer and more powerful Frieza would fare. Anyways, Frieza is a cruel dictator that despises anyone who opposes him, with a special hatred of those Saiyan monkeys. Each character plays in a wildly different manner, all of which fit their personalities and fighting styles perfectly. So, let's start talking about their gameplay. Alright, let's start with the golden boy himself, Goku. R1 and square has Goku spin around, kick his opponent, and then slide on his back and hop back onto his feet in a very fluent motion. I actually can't figure out what this one is specifically, but it kind of reminds me of that weird slide from the English Dragon Ball Z opening. So, off to a great start here. Oh, fun fact! Canada and America have different theme songs for Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Ours is a bit more repetitive here in Canada, as you can hear here. I'm still ridiculously nostalgic for that though, so Okay. Anyways, back to the show. R1 in Circle has Goku assume his fighting pose from his first battle with Vegeta during the Saiyan Saga. This is a counter that has Goku teleport behind his enemy, punch them in the back, and then kick them upwards. R1 in Triangle has Goku hit his opponent with a strong left punch, which pushes his enemy back and cripples them. This one took a bit of research since it looks pretty generic, but I believe this is the technique Now I'm Really Mad. That's the name. According to the Dragon Ball Wiki, this move is used by Goku against Frieza. So thank you for that, Wiki. As you could expect, pressing circle unleashes one of the most well-known and fondly remembered attacks from any manga or anime, the Kamehameha. Goku originally learned this technique from Master Roshi in the original Dragon Ball. Holding circle makes Goku charge the Kamehameha, making it far more powerful. You can also tap circle and then triangle to do an instant transmission Kamehameha. Goku will begin to charge his beam and then teleport to his opponent to unleash the attack. The technique uses to teleport, instant transmission, is taught to Goku by the Yardrats on his way back from Namek. The attack even makes the classic sound from the original anime. There's something about that echoed woo that makes me ridiculously nostalgic. Pressing forward in circle has Goku used Meteor Smash, which is a fast-paced and powerful barrage of punches, kicks, and hammers. This attack was first used by Goku during the climactic battle of Namek against 100% Final Form Frieza. The attack was later seen and usable in numerous Dragon Ball Z games. Certain combos will have Goku finish with a Ki-Eye, a blast of invisible pressure. This technique is used by numerous characters all throughout each series. Goku's Victory Burst attack is the Spirit Bomb. Goku assumedly gathers the energy of numerous life forms, plants, and all that lives in order to create his enormous ball. Goku then throws the ball downwards, where it collides with the ground and expands in range. If your opponent is hit by the initial throw or explosion, Goku will continue the attack, pushing the ball further and turning it into a Super Spirit Bomb. Then, after turning Super Saiyan, Goku says farewell to his opponent and uses instant transmission. The Spirit Bomb is technically first used against Vegeta on Earth, but it's a very different and smaller form. What I consider to be its first real use is on Namek, where Goku uses the attack against Frieza. Goku believes that the attack has killed Frieza, but, well, that doesn't end well. The attack's transition into a Super Spirit Bomb references the ending of the series, where Goku does this exact attack with almost every action in the attack sequence being perfectly accurate to the original series. Goku uses the Super Spirit Bomb to destroy Kid Buu once and for all, which, in my opinion, is one of the most moving parts of the series. I've always considered that to be the last big Dragon Ball Z moment, and it's a nice farewell to the series, alongside the very ending of the series with Oob. R1 and X has Goku charge up his special meter, in a manner that perfectly reflects the way characters charge Ki in the series. Charging both special meters all the way has Goku go Super Saiyan, with a fantastic animation that's reminiscent of his first transformation on Namek. And with that, on to the Prince of all Saiyans himself. I can't do that voice. We're going to talk about Vegeta. R1 in Square seems to have Vegeta shoot 2 Ki shots. This could just be a simple Ki Blast attack, but it reminds me a little bit of Shine Shot. It could also be a weaker form of Energy Volley, which is a technique that is frequently used by numerous characters throughout the entire series. R1 in Circle has Vegeta use Super Explosive Wave. Basically, Vegeta emits an enormous explosive force field of Ki energy, pushing back any close foes. Vegeta uses this technique against Goku during the Saiyan Saga. R1 in Triangle could be Blitz Rumble Kick. Basically, Vegeta dashes forwards and does a strong and heated side kick, knocking his opponent back. I'm actually not entirely sure where this move originates from. I thought it may have been Heavy Impact, but to be honest, I'm not fully sure. In Dragon Ball Z Super Battle, there's a move called Blitz Rumble Kick, which has Vegeta use a flaming side kick. That matches the move best, so for now I'm just going to assume that that's the move's name. Pressing Circle has Vegeta unleash his continuous energy bullet, which is a brutal barrage of explosive Ki blasts. Repeatedly pressing Circle has Vegeta shoot Ki blasts for as long as you have energy in your bar, meaning this move can be more than deadly. Vegeta uses this attack against Gohan in his original assault on Earth, and against Zarbon on Namek when Zarbon transforms into his ugly monster form. While this attack is mainly associated with Vegeta, since it's a very angry attack and Vegeta is a very angry man. Other characters have used it as well. Gohan, Piccolo, Piccon, and even Kui all use variations at different points throughout the series. I mean, this attack has a billion names. I had to look at the wiki to remember half of them, but you get the idea. Pressing forward in circle will have Vegeta use one of his most iconic moves, the Big Bang attack. Vegeta holds out his hand and creates a big blue ball of energy, which is then shot at his unlucky opponent with explosive results. Vegeta's Victory Burst attack is his most memorable and frankly his coolest attack, Final Flash. Vegeta pulls his arms back, begins to yell, and then thrusts his arms forward with a mighty scream. He then shoots out a ridiculously large yellow ki blast, which completely obliterates anything in its path. I am fairly confident this is one of the best attacks in the game. It is insane. Vegeta is known for using Final Flash against Cell in an ultimate display of the two characters' arrogance. Vegeta claims to have an ultra-powerful technique, while Cell says he'll take the attack head-on just to show how weak Vegeta is. Then, once the attack is used, Cell gets cold feet and jumps away at the last second. But you know what? That was probably a good call, since the beam literally blasts off the Earth. I feel like this would have some extreme planetary ramifications, but hey, Dragon Ball Z, so okay. Using this attack will automatically leave Vegeta in his Super Saiyan form, which is a really nice touch. Like with Goku, R1 and X has Vegeta charge in a very Dragon Ball-like fashion. Charging both bars has Vegeta go Super Saiyan, in a way that is reminiscent of his first transformation in the battle against androids 19 and 20. Which brings to mind the classic quote, "Tell me, does an android such as yourself feel?" I can't do it. And finally, it's time to talk about Frieza, or Freezer, or Frieza with an I. Localization. Alright, let's go. R1 in Square has Frieza use a Death Beam Barrage. This is basically a rapid-fire shower of thin energy beams that explode on impact with your opponent. R1 in Circle has Frieza use the very exposition-y attack, I won't let you escape with your life. These attack names are just beautiful. Frieza throws a small ball of energy at his opponent, capturing them in a sphere. As your opponent is lifted into the air, pressing circle will detonate the ball in a terrifying explosion. This attack is pretty much directly lifted from how Frieza kills Krillin on Namek. I could make a joke about Krillin, but come on, come on, it's... Okay, I've got to stay on topic here. I'm not gonna go completely off track to defend Krillin. Krillin isn't that lame, okay? Akira Toriyama himself has said that he's the strongest human on Earth, which is really impressive, even though I always assumed and still kind of believe that Tien was. Krillin doesn't die as often as those dank internet memes suggest, and his signature move, the Destructo Disc, is actually one of the coolest moves in the series, and in a way, it defies power levels. And I'm not even saying this as a Krillin fan, he's okay, but he's not my favorite character, not even that close, but Krillin doesn't suck, okay? Moving on. God. R1 in Triangle has Frieza use a flying headbutt, as he does against Vegeta, and later Goku while on Namek. That's really all there is for that one. I almost said headboot. Canada, eh? Pressing Circle has Frieza use his signature attack, the Death Beam. Frieza holds out his hand with his index finger extended. Well, what I assume is his index finger. I never got why Frieza had 5 fingers but 3 toes. Whatever, aliens. Anyways, you can either shoot out a regular thin death beam, or hold circle to charge up and fire out a huge death beam. Frieza uses this attack against numerous Namekians and Goku, but its most well-known usage is when Frieza shoots and kills Vegeta while he's on the ground, contributing to Goku's rising anger throughout the Frieza fight. Cell also uses this attack far later in the series, as he has some of Frieza's cells inside his handsome bug body. Forward in Circle has Frieza use Death Wave, which I always called Fisher Slash because of the Budokai Tenkaichi games. This move has Frieza hold up his arm and swing it downward, shooting out energy-powered slashes that decimate whatever is in front of him. Frieza uses this move against Goku on Namek, which is something of a running theme in Frieza's moveset. Frieza's Victory Burst attack is his Fierce Death Ball. Frieza yells angrily and extends his arm upwards. On the tip of his index finger thing, the black and red speckled ball quickly forms and is thrown by Frieza with extreme prejudice. In the series, Frieza uses this attack to damage Namek to the point of destruction, aka the longest 5 minutes in the universe. The ball smites whatever it is in front of it, but unlike Goku's Spirit Bomb, the move has no second phase. As can be expected at this point, R1-X has Frieza charge his energy while assuming the imposing and memorable stance he took in his final form while battling Goku on Namek. Dragon Ball has its own stage in J-Stars, which is one of the most iconic areas in the whole series, Namek. One of the best arcs in the series takes place here, so it's only natural that the planet of blue trees and green skies would show up in a game celebrating Jump, and by association, Dragon Ball. But honestly, the stage isn't the most enjoyable level in the game. There are tons of dips in the landscape, and there's water, which makes it something of an obstacle course. Nonetheless, the stage is definitely accurate to the series visually. As I said before, the skies and water are green, while the trees and grass are blue, just like in the anime and colored manga. Numerous Namekian huts can be found scattered across the map, which, as could be expected at this point, look practically identical to how they look in the source material. The hut on the top of the cliff is reminiscent of the Elder Guru's house. I'm not 100% sure that it really is his place, but it would make sense since it's also on an elevated rock in the series, and that's an important part of the arc. You can even go up to the spaceship that Professor Briefs made for Goku, or you can destroy it. Getting off Namek just got a little bit tougher, mate. You can also see Frieza's enormous ship in the background. Unfortunately though, you can't go in it like in Xenoverse, which makes getting off Namek really hard, because there's not a Ginyu Force pod in sight. Poor Goku. In the Anison TV Sound Edition, the oh-so-iconic first Japanese open to Dragon Ball Z, Head Chala, can be played during battle. This is fitting since, as I've mentioned numerous times before, J-Stars celebrates the 25 phenomenal and iconic years of Jump, and when you think of Dragon Ball Z, this is about as memorable as it gets. The sound effects are all on point too. Like I said earlier, the nostalgic sounds of the Kamehameha and other such attacks make a faithful transition from the anime. Now, this is also kind of a transition into the outro. This may seem like a minor thing, but the small stuff like the sound effects and whatnot go a long way in giving this game the Jump feeling. These sounds are some of the most nostalgic things about the series, on an almost subconscious level. You probably wouldn't actively think of it as a memorable part of the show, but when you hear it, it all comes rushing back. And that's how Dragon Ball is represented in J-Stars. The characters are accurate and fun to play as, and the stage and music are lifted straight from their respective series. Another property has made a fantastic transition into J-Stars, which is part of what makes the game so fun for fans like us. Because of the series' enormous amount of attacks in numerous video games, Dragon Ball is definitely one of the easier properties to translate into the game, but that doesn't take away from how faithful J-Stars is to the source material. If you've never seen Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, DVDs and Blu-rays are available at most video stores or at Walmart and whatnot. You can also get a paid subscription to watch them on Funimation's website, where you can also watch the divisive, seemingly non-canon sequel to Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and the filler-free recut of Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Kai. There are also tons of Dragon Ball games to play. The Budokai and Budokai Tenkaichi series on the PS2 are great, alongside my favorite Dragon Ball game, Super Dragon Ball Z, which is also available on the PS2. More recently, Dragon Ball Xenoverse was released for the current and next-gen systems. It's a very fun game with a neat story concept. You can also make your own characters, which is really cool. There are tons of Dragon Ball games out there, so go check some out. I guarantee I'll cover a few of them in the future as well, so stay tuned for that. And that's Dragon Ball. Like I said before, Dragon Ball is practically a part of our culture at this point. Alongside Sailor Moon and Evangelion, Dragon Ball is one of the big series that really got a lot of people into anime. Its stories and characters are truly timeless, and to this day, new movies and shows continue the story. I can easily say it's one of my favorite things in the world, and that its inclusion in J-Stars truly does it justice. One last thing, actually. Someone commented on the last J-Stars that they would be interested in me talking about the unique dialogue between characters seen in the game. I want to know if everyone else wants to see that, or what the general consensus is, since I know there's a couple videos floating around out there that probably have almost all the dialogue there, but if people really want it, I would definitely cover all the unique dialogue between characters, like Goku and Frieza, or Goku and Luffy and whatnot. So let me know in the comments if you're interested in that, and I will do it if you want. Cool. And that's the second episode of J-Stars. Thanks again for watching, and you can look forward to the next one sometime soon. I've said it before, but I will be doing a J-Stars episode every 1 or 2 other videos, so they'll be pretty consistent. Shoot me a comment if you want to ask me about something about J-Stars Origins or request something, and I'll respond. Cool. So, thanks again for watching, and until we meet again, stay gold.